So we also had different games altogether. We will focus on what happened in the FA Cup. But before that, let us have a conversation about Kabaddi in the country. And we know that we are trying as much as possible to build sports. And while at 8 different sports federations, they're saying we'll always try as much as possible to give sports what it deserves. And I'm talking about the Kenya Kabaddi Sports Federation. The chairman is here with me. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I've been well. What about you?
Mimi niko salama kabisa.
Good.
Let's just dive onto it.
Yes.
I know the year is quite young. We're saying that we still have a number of events that we want to be on the calendar this time out.
Sure.
Pengine, tell us, where are we at and what are we looking up to?
When Moses last you had me here, we were still struggling. But a few things as is a norm in any sports federations. But now we are coming from a good place. There is a lot of events that are coming up. Not forgetting that we are partnering with schools, the police force. Now schools, they have adapted Kabaddi. Now moving forward, other than that, because you're going to have calendar for schools, because we can't, have event whereby we mix both minor and seniors. For the seniors, we have a next coming weekend at GSU. No, not GSU. It's a prison training college. We have an event there with for Sako Kabaddi. Then moving forward, the other weekend we have a DIG Cup, which has really played a very great role because we've had some of the teams that will be taking place there that has been rehabilitated from the street. And I'm only hoping that you guys will join us during that moment so that you can actually attest to what I'm saying. So Kabaddi is growing. We have in June, we have World Cup for Sako in Canada. Then we have Africa Championship. This is for the African Championship. The last one was held last year in Egypt. Now this year it will be held in Cameroon. That is in August. Yes.
Talk about the partners that actually are coming on board to assist and also to make this federation be what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
How well do you say they understand the sport? They're taking up the different ideas and they're giving actually the support that you deserve, because we have a number of events, but are we having supports from different corporates and every other brand that comes on board to also make the different events be a success?
Talk about that. I had a good conversation today, and honestly from one of the leading company. I don't know whether I should mention, but when they saw what we were doing, they actually told me to send me their number, which I did. And actually, because I don't do everything, I sent for the Secretary General, James Akama. I sent it to the, his phone number, and immediately they called him and they asked him, what can we do for you? You see, that's a very, broad question. And I don't know how to be approached, because when the company is drawing that interest and they're asking you that. Actually, for, as a matter of fact, 2 companies. Once they haven't called, that was last week, but this one, they did this today, and I sent the SG's number and they got communication. Our main issue, so that we can ease the burden for the federations, is to make sure that companies franchise players, so that we can also have for example, Tusker or Tuzo or football club. We can also have a certain company adapting players and playing for the company playing for that. The player playing for that company. Yes. So the response is quite good, quite encouraging. And of course, not forgetting the schools. Like now, we are forced to have a competition that was not on our calendar. By the end, we are closing schools because already we have like 7 schools playing Kabaddi on the ground.
It's important actually also to wrap in the schools, because that is where they will be able actually to nurture and give a platform to these young players who eventually will play for the national teams.
We are actually trying both sides. We all know very well a foundation for a house begins from the grassroots. But now this one we want to tackle from the KUSA and the schools, because nobody wants to play a sport that is not played when they go to high school, college, university, name it, even beyond. So what you're trying to do, we are partnering with KUSA, universities and colleges, so that as we nurture these ones here, they know there is hope, as opposed to them doing so much on the ground, then to go up there and they find there is nothing. So Yeah, so that is exactly what you're doing. And of course, not forgetting, Kabaddi is in the CBC. Yes.
And is it picking up actually in the school? Is it picking up with the speed that it deserves?
It does. It is doing so well. I can tell you, as I told you now, we have quite a number, but committed ones, they are 7. And of course, when you're talking about 7, you're not talking about 7 teams.
Yeah.
If you're playing Kabaddi from grade 4, for instance, to grade 7 or maybe junior high, and a school has got 2 or 3 streams, how teams can you make? If a team is made up of between 12 and 14 players, how many teams can one have in one school? So we are talking about a mass. So the moment